Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. This is Tara. You might be here because you just came across a video in your feed or something like that. Awesome. Maybe somebody recommended that you come to the channel. Awesome. Or maybe it just auto played and you're gonna watch. My name is Tara and I'm 54 years old and I am turning everything around. Um, it's been quite a journey so far. I've been documenting it for, I don't know, I have to look. Again, I'm documenting, but I'm not like keeping track of exactly how long everything has been. But I do know I'm like 220 days with no alcohol, um, or that I stopped drinking. Um, that's going good. I love that. And excuse me, I am also on a ketovore way of eating. Um, and I'm noticing a couple of things about that. That's really encouraging and kind of fun. And I basically am just vlogging about my life and whatnot. So you may see the mess on the counter behind me. That's been kind of the case for a little bit. I have been wanting to paint. I am a fluid acrylic artist, and I do have a channel called Tara's Traveling Paints. I put it as a collaborator with this one, so if you want to go check it out, go ahead. Um, and I really want to paint, and I need to get that counter cleared off. But I had to do a couple of things. So yesterday I didn't make a video because I was just like, I was having a down day. And even though I want to be really transparent with y'all and come on here and let you see kind of like all my emotions, sometimes having a bad day or having like one of those super down days, it's too encouraging to keep somebody else in that kind of place. So I decided I wasn't going to make a video. I didn't go crazy and eat any carbs or anything like that. I've been good on my way of eating for sure. And I didn't go out and drink. None of that. I just kind of wallowed in my pity for just a minute longer than I should have. So I didn't want to make a video. And there will be times where I will. There are times where I come on here and cry. But yesterday I didn't think it was appropriate. I didn't. So yesterday I did a whole bunch of stuff. I rearranged my plants. Those plants used to be behind me. Now they're over that way towards the door. I moved my bar stools over towards the wall because with my leg bothering me, sitting on the bar stools, it just doesn't work, even though that's like the most comfortable spot. And so I really need to get that area straightened out a little bit there. That pile of junk, I need to get that straightened out. But in order to paint, I need to be able to get onto that countertop. And so I'm looking around at all my paintings and I'm like, I need to have like a flash sale. I need to sell them because I want to refill my walls. I want to, and I have a lot of paintings that haven't sold. So I'm confused about how to go about it and what to do, um, and all that. So that was kind of weighing on me yesterday, and I have not got that countertop cleared yet. It's much better than it had been, but so then I run into there must be some kind of wild animal outside. The cat's like, what the fuck is going on? I can't see out the window because I'm up really high. The window comes to about here on my nose, so I got to jump up, and he likes it up there. Anyway, um, so yesterday I was trying to put together uh, my tower AC unit. I have one, and I'm missing a piece, and it's beyond my patience level and expertise and tool level to just make the piece it's missing. And so I can't get it installed, and it's hot now. Now, I know it's not Florida hot. I have lived in Florida in the summertime without AC, so I can tolerate a lot. And I like it hot. However, in an attic situation, if you've ever looked at any videos or anything like that where they put the temperature gauge up on the ceiling and or around the attic space, and I show you that the attic is way more hot than the rest of the house. And usually like on home inspector channels and shit like that, which are very popular. I'm sure you've come across them. Um, I live in that space, and even though it's finished, I pretty sure my landlord. I mean, it looks pretty nice, but there's issues. Actually, it's a really nice apartment. Don't get me wrong. However, I'm pretty sure if there was a shortcut to be taken, it was taken. Just saying. So I wonder what is out there because that cat is freaking out. It can't be just the chickens. He knows the chickens. Who knows? Anyway, so I couldn't get that done, and it started to get hot yesterday. And then I started developing my brain. Well, when it's hot, the paint takes a long time to dry. And then having a dog and a cat and having fans blowing everywhere, it's going to kick up a lot of dust, a lot of pet hair, and get it in the painting. I don't want to do that. So I'm kind of at a loss. Tomorrow it's going to be in the 80s. And that means up here is going to be crazy. Right now it is 82 up here. Outside it's probably 76. So that's pretty good. It's still not crazy, but it's not as cool as I need to have it. Because once it gets hot up here, it's almost impossible to break the heat. And once it maintains over 70, over 80, we're talking hot. So I can't find that piece, and I'm hoping that it comes up, or I find it, or something like that. Maybe I'll look for that piece, see if I can buy it single and get it in. And I'll be putting it in that window. That's why the table's back in a different spot, because I will be putting it in that window. The cat can still go up there and look out the window, and I can have AC in this room. So in the meantime, I asked my neighbor to put in the box or the window AC unit. I didn't want to use it because I like having my window, especially because they're up so high. I want to be able to look at them, and I want to be able to have plants in front of it. And with the AC unit, you can't have your plants. You can't have your plants up in front of it. But I did message today and asked if he would mind if he installed it. I can't do it. It's too heavy. And the window being up so high, it's just too much. And I haven't heard back yet, so I don't know if that's going to happen or not. It's not his responsibility, but I could use the help. You know what I'm saying? So yesterday I got agitated because I work with a realtor, and she will call me to do move-in cleans or move-out cleans so she can get ready for photography. And she's even sold a house. One of my best clients for a short-term rental I got from her, and we have a great relationship, and the house is pristine, and it's wonderful. She posted yesterday, and I wonder if she doesn't realize that she's like friends with all the people that she does have clean for her. I'm not the only one that cleans for her. There's been times where I'm not available. And, she basically said, I've never found anybody that I want in my house, even with my business. And then she went to list on all the reasons why not one single cleaner should take this on. So she wants so there's a difference. There's housekeepers, there's cleaners. I fall into the cleaner category, and there's maids. Okay, there are three different things. They do different things. I like the idea of maid, but nobody can afford that. So a maid would come through your house every day and do that tidying thing. So like make sure the beds are made and everything like that. That's a maid. Just imagine what happens in a hotel room. So a maid would have to be once a week or more. And it's not cheap. As a matter of fact, when I first wanted to do um, this style of business, I wanted to be a rent-a-wife. Like make sure the dishes are all done and put up, make sure, like whatever needs to be in the crock pot's in the crock pot, make sure the toilet's clean, make sure the bed's made. If there's clothes, flip them, get the clean ones put away, and vacuum the house so that when the single guy that doesn't have time for a girlfriend or a wife or any of that shit and doesn't have any time for that but wants to feel like that, they could rent a wife, or an abuelita is basically what I wanted to be. But people just couldn't, like when I got in touch with people couldn't understand what the bleep I was talking about. And so this is not the area to have a maid, unless you are very wealthy and they live in. And then the house cleaner is somebody like me that comes in and I clean the house. You tell me what you want done. I don't have to guess what's to be done. And I tell you what I'm going to charge you, and I do it. And that could be anywhere from once a week to once a month or once a quarter, or even once a year. Some people only want, my best friend actually has me come for certain spring tests once a year. They don't need me all the time. They just want once a year. So that works out for me just fine, you know. And then housekeeper is kind of like borderline house manager. Uh, and it's kind of difficult to really differentiate for the sake of this video the difference, but a house manager would do more than a maid. And depending, less than a cleaner. So she basically posted that she wanted a house manager that didn't need to be told what to do and that wasn't afraid of putting laundry away. But yet she said she wanted a cleaner and has never met anybody that can do that. I was pissed. So let me put it to you this way. Without even talking to somebody, without even reaching out and being like, would you be interested? She wants this service once a month, maybe, and only during her busy months. Well, what are those? And what do you mean maybe? Because either whether you're a maid, a cleaner, or a housekeeper, you need to know how often the service is to be provided. So if it's once a month, it's going to cost more than somebody that comes once a week per visit. It may not cost more for the entirety of the month, but it's going to cost more. If I've got to come to if you are a bi-weekly person and I only end up going to your house once a month because you didn't understand that you were bi-weekly and you're like, yeah, I don't really need you every 2 weeks. That is a different price point than if I'm going to go to your house every 2 weeks and clean what I clean. So she's vague on that, and then she's insulting, of course, about all the people that she's worked with. And I'm sure I wasn't the only one that was hot. As a matter of fact, one person actually posted, what about Juliet? I know you've worked with her before. So basically letting her know, yeah, we see you. I was hot. I was hot. And I shouldn't be. But I tell you what, if you're ever looking for any real estate in northern Vermont, she's not who I'm sending you to. Full stop. Never. Never. And that's that. You know, I grew up in the Hamptons. You don't know who I know. Like, what? Oh my. So that was part of my pissy thing. And what was funny was that my best friend and my client that I go to once a year, she's all like Tara Woodruff. The girl that works with me, that I manage for the short-term rental company that I host for, she commented and she's looking for side work. Like, I'm shocked that she didn't, but she may have seen the insult in it as well. And she's like, she says my name. So I commented under the one that Kim put up, and I said, well, it all depends on what side of the mountain she lives on, because I'm not going to commit outside of the person I'm committed to for that side of the mountain for any regular cleans at all. I'm not even willing to commit to a short-term rental on that side of the mountain. It's too dangerous, and it's too hard on my vehicle to do it in the winter. And I may get paid well, but I don't get paid all year long like that. So I need to charge more. And you could probably find somebody that just needs some side work that'll do it for $20 an hour. If you want me to come, it's very expensive when it's that side of the mountain. Over here, it's not very expensive. But at the same time, the only place I have close to me is one. There is nothing shorter than 25 minutes away from my house. So I was a little perturbed. Plus, I was already feeling a little down, and then I was like, and then I realized, that's what got me up and started moving around. Like, I'm just gonna sit here and dwell on this. And then I started realizing, and God started, like reminding me, you're not here to impress people, Tara. You're not. You do what you do, and you glorify me when you're doing it, and love it, and everything's gonna be fine. I'll provide. You do not have to be impressive to someone that would be that stupid, because she's you're way out, you way outclass her. um and whoever ends up working, I don't even know if she's going to get somebody to work for her, but what she's asking for is every single one of them are red flags for somebody that you want to go uh take care of their house for. I mean, to use terms like knows how to manage a house without having been told what to do, isn't afraid of tidying up. What does that mean? Does that mean you don't do the dishes and you leave the dishes in the sink? Is that what that means? Because a house cleaner doesn't do that. A maid does that. Like, and sometimes it takes a while to kind of even if somebody's new to having somebody come into their home, and this person is not new to it, she used to actually do it as a job. Um, so she should know better. Sometimes the relationship evolves. And that is the case with my people that I go to in St. Albans. Once I figured, I'm like, why are they leaving dishes? And I wasn't touching them. I was walking right by it. If you want your sink cleaned, there can't be dishes in it. And I was just walking by it. And it's really hard for me to do that. And then one day I just said, you know what? I'm not going to walk by it. She wasn't firing me or saying anything. I just realized very quickly, I think it was like 2 times I walked by it. The first time her mother was in the kitchen making granola, I didn't touch the kitchen. Wasn't happening. The second time, the dishes were all in the sink. I'm like, what the heck is this? So I didn't touch it. The third time, I was like, she wants a maid. She just wants one fucking day that she comes home every 2 weeks where she doesn't have to think about shit. She wants to come home on a Friday afternoon after she's worked all week and not have to do dishes as soon as she walks in the door. She doesn't want to have to clean the toilet. She doesn't want to have to do that. So I quickly figured out what it is she wanted. Thank God. But oftentimes, that's not the case. Oftentimes, people, one or the other is going to get pissed off, and it's not going to work out. For me, it works out really great. The only problem is the distance. It's an hour and a half away. And at some point, I've got to find the guts to let it go because I just really like it, you know? And it's one of my first people when I started doing this. So, and she went all winter without me and didn't hire anybody. I was like, what, are you kidding? I thought for sure she'd hire somebody. She didn't. So what I do when I walk in the door there is I go straight to the kitchen. If the dishes in the dishwasher aren't started yet, they get started. Oh, I walk around the house, get all the dirty dishes, get it all loaded up, start the dishwasher. Whatever can't fit in the dishwasher, I wash by hand and get it started drying. By the time I leave, all that's ready to get put up, and I put it up. It's literally 15 minutes, 20 minutes maybe, added to my clean. And if something else falls back because of it, something else falls back because of it. That's all. My main goal in that house, it's very simple, is get that bathroom nice and shiny and beautiful. Make sure any visible grossness on windows is taken care of. Like the sink has a window right there. I clean that every time I go. Get the kitchen cleaned up. Get the dishes put up. Vacuum, vacuum, vacuum the dog sheds. But I'm only there every 2 weeks. So you'd think the dog was more than one, but it's not. I vacuum the couch and the living room. I dust everything. If I have time, I'll vacuum into the bedrooms, but I don't do the bedrooms. And then I mop my way out the door. And that is just wonderful. She just loves that. So I'm performing like a hybrid service for her. Like I get the front door, the glass on the storm door, it gets clean. The back sliders that they use all the time to go out in the backyard, those get done inside and out. Because that's what makes life good. And that's what makes her happy. And that's what she wants me there for. Other people would want completely different things. Or other things to be done differently. And so everybody's different. So that's my rant about cleaning. And that lady can go fuck off. And it's funny because I sent it to my friend. She owns a cleaning company on the other side of the state. Sometimes our areas cross, but she's always within 15 minutes of where she works, which is wild. I think today was her furthest client. Takes 30 minutes to get to. That's her only one. I said, I want to know what you think of this. And she was like, she comes back to me. She's like, whoever that is, don't be looking for work with that person. That is a red flag. You know, she was like, that is disgusting. She's so condescending. I'm like, yeah, she's actually the girl that I get a lot of referrals from. And she's like, well, that's gross. I'm like, yeah. She's insulting everyone that's ever worked with her. It's disgusting. So there's my rant on that. But let's get into good news. Let's go talk about food. So yesterday, of course, I was just so dang yucked. I didn't want to do shit, and I was getting hungry. And I had a pound of chopped meat defrosted in the fridge. And so I was going to make burgers because I didn't want to do a meatloaf or turn on the oven. It's too hot. My grill, I can't pick up and move to where I could use it. And my backyard is about 6 inches tall in grass, and I'm not getting a fucking tick. I'm not going out there. So I'm going to cook it in the house. So what I did when I pulled it out of the wrap, it's vacuum packed. It was like a giant burger, a pound and a quarter pound burger. I'm like, you could do this, Tara. And I did. I cooked a pound burger in a skillet perfectly. It was so stinking beautiful. I can't believe it. And it came out perfectly cooked too. Like I got that medium. Burgers I like medium. I don't like a medium well, and I don't like the medium rare. I like the medium. Pink on the inside, but nothing. I, I want it cooked. So I was like, get out of here. This is so crazy. And I'm like, I could eat a pound steak. I could just eat this whole thing, and I could have. But I didn't. I restrained myself and only had half of it. I ate the other half this morning. Just a beautiful piece of meat. I couldn't believe it. When I went to the market today, I told her about it. She's like, get out. I'm like, yeah, I did it. And it's gorgeous. It was gorgeous. I couldn't believe it. So I could do that anytime, which is really cool. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bang on you. Oh my gosh, I hate that. So I had that half last night for dinner and half of it today when I got really hungry. I broke my fast about 11:30, and I picked up my chuck roast from the market, and it came out to be a 5-pound chuck roast. And I looked up how to cut that up to make steaks because I'm not making a pot roast out of it. I cannot eat that. Like I want to eat this all week. I prefer to have steak all the time. Chopped meat is it's an emergency food to me. It's just where I'm at with my ketovore style eating. There's nothing wrong with eating burger every day. I'm just letting you know. There is nothing wrong with that. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So, but I'm really a steak person right now in this part of my world. And so I took that chuck roast. I found a video that showed me how to do it. So you buy the chuck roast that is beautiful, that has a line of fat going through the middle of it. When you get it home, you split it apart. It literally just pulls apart. And you'll see the fascia in the fat. Okay? So the part that has a little bit of marbling like that, that's your chuck eye, which is your poor man's ribeye. And the other part is your Denver steak. And that's kind of like a tip. The marbling is funky in it. I came out with 5-pound chuck roast, 4 chuck eye steaks, and 6 Denvers. So what I did with them is I dry aged them for a couple of hours in the fridge with salt on a rack. And then I took 3 of the chuck eyes and I seasoned them with my special season that I've been using. And a little bit of balsamic. That's got carbs in it, guys. So if you're fully carnivore, do not use balsamic. That is not carnivore. It's ketovore. It's super low in carbs, but maybe not low enough even. So I use 1 serving for the whole bag, just to help it. Kind of vinegar does help things break, you know. And olive oil, and I rub my seasoning on both sides. And then the Denvers, I decided to use a different seasoning, but I checked the macros on it, and there was 0 carbs, so I use that. I can get it for you and sell it to you. Hopefully my knee's been killing me. Yep, ouch. I'm like getting there with my knee, but it's, ugh. Gringo's Chupacabra rub. I don't even know where I bought it, but there are 0 carbs in it. I cannot read what the ingredients are. Could be bad. Don't know. But I know I like it. And so I used it on my Denvers. And that I did not add any balsamic to. That's probably where I should have, because those are going to be the tougher, if they're tough at all. And I just put olive oil and separated them and put them in a bag. So that's it. I'm going to eat that this week. What I left out for tonight's dinner is one of the chuck eye roasts and one of the Denvers, the smallers of both. And I'm going to cook them. And I season them the same way that I did the ones in the bags. And I'm going to have those for dinner. They're out getting hot right now. It probably won't be long to cook. I don't want it to take long to cook because it's hot in here. It's gone up since we started this video. So, yeah. So I did some investigating because I really want a chuck roll because I do. But if you get a chuck roast and you get the right one, the one with the line of fat right through the middle, you're in good shape. And it's pretty. It's going to be cheaper than buying those steaks. So you could go. So I went and looked up chuck eye steak at Shaw's and at Hannaford. Now Hannaford, I'd have to go an hour away to get to. Shaw's is close. I don't trust Walmart. I don't know why. I'm afraid of what they're doing to our food. Not necessarily Walmart, but they. And I don't want, like, I know this. The cow that I'm eating tonight was butchered yesterday and was raised 2 miles away from me. That is really important. Okay? So, I looked it up. Chuck eye steak at Shaw's was, I think, $13.99 a pound. It was $11.99 at Shaw's, $13.99 at Hannaford. Denver steaks, they tell you it's something else. They don't ever tell you it's a Denver steak. That's why I'm saying it looks like a tip or a beef strip. And then I looked up what they charge per pound for the roast. And Hannaford, I believe, was $9.99 a pound for the roast. And Shaw's, which is funny because Shaw's is expensive. Shaw's is like the Publix of the Northeast. Not as popular though, but it's nice. That was $8.99. So I'm not gonna find it any cheaper than where I'm getting it. So I'm okay with that. And if I could buy a chuck roast every week, let's see how long it goes. This is the experiment part. If I could buy a chuck roast every week, I could save a lot of money because I buy steak. Whenever I've got the money to do it, I go buy a steak, and I'll buy the sirloin and eat half of it and have the next half the next day, and all that fun stuff. And I'll buy a ribeye, and New York strip seems to be my favorite right now. But I love shoulder. Last year she had me on the shoulder, and I wasn't ketovore or carnivore, and I was like, oh, it's so good, just so much flavor in it. So that's exciting. I'm excited, so I'm saving money with that. It was about $40 for the 5 pounds, and that's awesome. It comes to about $8 a pound. So I was still cheaper than having to drive anywhere that I don't want to be. Don't like going into towns. I don't like having that many people around me at all. I don't want to beat my Jeep up at all. That's got to last me as long as it can, and I don't want to hurt it. And even though right now is nice, they're trying to fix the roads from the crazy winter, and it just it's whatever. So I'm excited about that, and I'm going to have that for dinner, and I can't wait. I can cook off one of my cured bacons that I cured myself. I have the date on the bags of the 1 week or the 2 week mark. So now is the 1 week mark on the first round. I could cook that, but it's kind of hot for that. I like to cook those in the oven. I don't like to cook it on the stove. It's too much fat going everywhere. It's already bad enough. So I might have to wait for that. Or I might cook a couple of slices to go with my not my burgers, my steaks. But that's what's up. Is there anything else I wanted to tell you about? Oh, yes, there is. Um, so have you seen my fascia dance yet? Go check it out. I added 2 things to it. I'm going to make a new video showing those 2 things. I'm not going to do it today though, but why not add some stuff to it? And I I am my mobility is really tight right now because my leg is killing me all the time. I am not so nothing that I'm going to show you in these are going to be something that you probably can't do if you're kind of like in alignment with me. If you're overweight and you've been sedentary for a while, you still should be able to pull off what I'm doing. And if not, just modify. Okay? I mean, I've seen a couple of really great 4-minute exercises that I can't do. Wouldn't that be great to stretch my fascia and get my body going if I could do that for 4 minutes? That'd be cool, but I can't. Another really big tip, this is super important. Get on the floor and sit. And that's something that, like, I want to actually do that. I want to get little sit cushions, the little round ones, and start sitting on the floor all the time. So at least do it once a day. Whatever it is that you do, if you want to draw, write in your journal, read a book, watch the phone, try to get on the floor once a day for as long as you can tolerate it. That whole thing is really good for you. The As you get older, one of the things that will keep you independent is your ability to get off the floor. When you stop being able to get off the floor on your own, it's big red flags, dude. So do everything that you can right now. And if you're young, if you're in your 20s, 30s, you're a teenager, you're teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, crawl, get on the floor, shake that fascia, do whatever it is. If you're going to exercise, I'm a fan of ancestral exercise. So that would be sprinting, fascia stuff, crawling, climbing. Be like a child with your physical fitness. If you like to ski, go do it. Like stuff like that. Um, I don't like to ski. I've never done it. I don't want to. I don't like the cold. I do like sleigh riding though, and I haven't done that in a minute. And my goal, let's make this a goal, that this winter I can go sleigh riding. I haven't been sleigh riding probably 7 years. And I thought I was going to be doing it all the time. And I only did it once. When I lived in Enosburg, I lived right down the road from a pretty good sledding hill. And I think I went up and down it twice. I want to be that crazy old lady that goes down that hill screaming and yelling and goes as fast as she can to get up that hill again, to do it again. I want to do that. So, sleigh riding. I want to do that. So let's do that next winter, because I'll be here. Unless some sort of wonderful miracle happens, I will be here. I do want to say, though, I do love Vermont. It is beautiful. But it's the California of the East Coast. Here in New York, it's crazy. So I'm a little worried that the generations upon generations of people that have been in Vermont are totally losing their voice here. Completely. And I watched it happen in Montauk. And I don't want to watch that happen anymore. I want to go somewhere. I don't know. But I don't love winter either. So who knows? I want to be able to open my windows and feel the breeze. I want it to get hot sometimes. I don't mind a little cold. I definitely want to have a wood stove no matter where I live because remember a couple years ago in Texas when the grid went down and it got cold and people died? I don't care where you live in the United States. You should have a wood stove. Period. Period. And if you do decide to go with a pellet stove, you better make sure you got pellets. Have them stocked up even if you never use it. Same with wood. Like always. I think it's more important than a generator. So that's my 2 cents. I'm gonna go splice that together because I had to cut out a part there because it was yeah, whatever. Um yeah, I'm gonna go cook dinner now. I love you long time. I want to thank you for hanging out with me and just keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Yeah, I'll see you later, alligator. Talk to you later. Bye.